Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that just absolutely infuriates me and is the prime pinnacle of ultimate hypocrisy. Today we're going to be talking about the GoFundMe canceling the trucker convoys campaign. So if you don't know what the trucker convoy campaign is, it is currently a campaign in Canada where a bunch of truckers have rallied together and have started protesting. They've basically congested highways and honked their horn tremendously while trying to get the point across that we need to end all mandates in regards to the whole COVID pandemic. Now, the reason that they're doing this is because they feel that their government in Canada has overstepped their bounds and that they're far reaching than what they should be doing. Again, this has been a completely peaceful protest that has been going on for a little bit over a month now, which has been disrupting the entire supply lines of Canada and hindering goods and services getting out, but they're trying to do it in the most peaceful protest way possible while also still making a statement. Very reasonable, very fair. They started a GoFundMe page which had raised a grand total of over 10 million CAD, which is the Canadian dollar, and it has gone, which roughly equates to about 7.7 million USD. So about $7 million have been raised towards this convoy. This is people that have given their money towards them to continue doing what they're doing and to help them while they're out of work and while they're out of their job. The controversy here is that GoFundMe has decided not to release the funds out to the truckers convoy and is instead going to take those funds and allow and redistribute it to other charity organizations that they deem fit. Their reasoning behind this is because they're wanting to say that political pressure has shown them that the convoy is, quote, violent, and they have a no violence or harassment policy within their funding platform, which is why they're not going to release out these funds. What's ironic about this is that this is the same company that still, as of me recording this, has a campaign page open and still ready to receive and accept donations for Chaz. You remember Chaz, right? It was that little event that happened where some people literally violently overthrew an area of Washington, D.C. and has turned around and said that it was an autonomous zone with no government allowed, and how literal journalists were talking about how it was violence there every single day. Multiple people have been shot, injured, or killed while this event was going on. Yeah, that campaign page is still up there because, you know, that was a very good peaceful demonstrational protest. There was no problems there. But these truckers honking their horns, oh God, oh man, that is too much. We cannot accept this. The thing is that if you look at GoFundMe, you'll look at their mission statement. This is what they say that they are about. This is their business philosophy. There's a part of every one of us that dreams of a better world, the spark of inspiration to help a person, fix a neighborhood, or even change a nation. At GoFundMe, we believe your inspiration should be shared with everyone because that's how change happens. If this is not a prime example of people trying to make a change on a national level and within accordance to your own business beliefs that you state that you care for, then what the hell is this? This is a prime example of why companies, especially private companies, should never get politicized. I hate this shit. You should just be running your business the way you believe your mission should be ran. And if you don't believe in your mission, then don't force feed me the bullshit of what your mission is if you're not going to keep up with it. I run my own business. I have personal experience in this. I believe in creating a win-win situation for everybody involved. That includes a win-win for me, includes a win-win for my investors, and that includes a win-win to the people that we're selling to. Everybody must win. That is our mission statement and philosophy, and that's what we believe in. Here's GoFundMe literally doing the complete opposite of this. The other thing that absolutely annoys me to no end with this, again, not only did they allow Chaz to still have a currently active fundraiser up on the site right now, But they are withholding 7.7 million that needs to go to these people for what they believe in. This isn't the people's money that donated. This isn't GoFundMe's money. This is legally the truckers' money. They earned it. There's so many better ways that they could have handled this situation and how they could have gone about it. One solution is that they could have frozen all future donations and distributed out all of the donations that they already had received and apologize that they just do not feel that they can no longer continue supporting this movement and this donation cause. Doing something like that is totally reasonable. If you really do not want to support it, just don't allow any further donations and release out what's already been given. That's fair. That's understandable. The way that they handled it and the way that they sat there and they did this, where they just are like, nope, we're not giving out the money, we're freezing all donations, and we're gonna take your money and put it somewhere else. The people didn't donate to whatever you're going to put it to. That's called fraud. If I tell you I have a t-shirt, I am going to sell you this t-shirt for $20, and I do not provide you with that t-shirt. Instead, I tell you, well, I apologize, I took your money for that t-shirt, and I've now bought myself a Big Mac with it, and donated to the Ronald McDonald Fund by doing so. You're going to be absolutely pissed with all rights. And I have now committed fraud. I've committed something called service fraud. I have taken your money and used it for something that you did not agree for me to use it for. This has to be, by all accounts, fraud. There is no way that this cannot be constituted as fraud. They need to just release the funds that they've collected to the truckers and just walk away from the situation. Now, I will say this, and one potential defense of GoFundMe is that there is a chance, because every business has to use a payment processor in order to be able to process debit cards, credit cards, and like bank transactions. It's basically a third party that when you send the money on the website, it doesn't go to GoFundMe, it goes through this processor and then goes to GoFundMe for them to distribute out however they're supposed to. This is a very common business practice. If their payment processor is the one that put their foot down on this and said, hell no, you aren't going to support this, then they need to throw their payment processor under the bus while looking for a new one. They need to blatantly come out and state, hey, our payment processor is not allowing us to continue this. The way that they have stated it and the way that they have talked about it, they are making it seem like they are making the decision about this, not some outside entity putting pressure. Because I get it, if they lost their payment processor, they can't run their business, they can't run their organization. I can sympathize with that, I can understand that, and they are doing nothing wrong. They are just simply trying to protect the best interests of their business. But that's not what they stated, which is exactly what annoys me. Here's what they said. GoFundMe supports peaceful protests, and we believe that was the intention of the Freedom Convoy 2022 fundraiser when it was first created. We now have evidence from law enforcement that the previous peaceful demonstration has become an occupation, with police reports of violence and other unlawful activities. So that's them making a stand. That's what they're saying. What I find even more interesting about this is when I looked up violence of the Freedom Convoy, I couldn't find anything. I literally could not find anything. What I did find is I found Antifa members running over 4 innocent civilians and getting arrested for it. I found that. I mean, does that count as them committing the violence? Because this is the same group that you supported in Chaz, which you still have a fundraiser up right now that can be donated for it. The good news is that because of this entire incident, because the monetary amount was so high, there is multiple investigations and attorneys like pretty much sitting there and investigating this entire situation to potentially make a class action lawsuit out of this, to really put the pressure and the pain on GoFundMe for going back on what they were supposed to have actually done. And quite honestly, I have to say, outside of it being a situation with their payment processor, which if it is, they have not made it very clear that that's the problem, they are complete and total hypocrites and deserve all of this. They released out an option for people now to basically fill out a form and get a refund through that form, where they will issue out a refund individually. But the thing is that doing that pretty much takes you out of the equation. Don't do that. Instead, what you should be doing is you should be charging back against them, because that's what's going to hurt them the most. When you charge back against somebody, that literally says like, hey, these people did not provide the good and service that they were supposed to, and now they're going to have to pay back that money plus a fee for every single chargeback. And let me tell you, those chargeback fees can range anywhere from as little as $15 per chargeback. I've seen it all the way as high as $45 a chargeback. You don't want a chargeback. And if you pay with a debit card within like 60 days, or if you pay with a credit card within 6 months towards this, chargeback. Do not fill out that form. Do not give them the way out of the situation. Do not allow them to just backtrack. They let this happen. And the thing is too, is GoFundMe collects a small fee off of every single transaction that was made towards this convoy. They were making a profit on it. So they're either making a political statement right now while trying to keep their profits, or they're having issues with their payment processor. I'm more inclined to believe in the latter. This is disgusting. This is unacceptable. This is the kind of shit that we should be plastering and we should be calling out as a society and making it clear. Don't be a political company. Your job is to provide a good and service for the consumer or the end user and your investors, not take a stand like you're some grandstand company who's all good, because I promise you, no company is 100% good. Every company has had to make very questionable decisions. And as I've mentioned multiple times, you still have a fundraiser page up for one of the most disgustingly violent groups to have ever happened, which is Chaz. That's all I have to say on this. I'm actually really interested in seeing how the rest of this develops, and I'll probably make a follow-up video on it once more information comes out. But this has been Rex Vladimir, not stealing $7.7 million that was supposed to go to somebody else. And I'm out of here. Peace.
Amigos, Tucker.